Welcome to BEGAVERSE.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe.
A letter? For me? A dinner invitation.
And with whom are you dining this evening?
Maxwell Roth.
The leader of the Blighters. You're not going?
Of course not. Easy, girl. Easy.
Protest spectacle! The last public hanging in England will take place this Tuesday at Newgate.
Ah, this is one that's most promising.
An important detective is missing. Skullduggery is surely afoot.
Solve it, and I'll write it up quick as you please.
Now you say.
He's a friend of mine. The whole station is out looking for him as we speak. Ironically, he came here on an investigation himself. Seems several people have gone missing in this part of town. We've had reports of missing people over the last few months. Detective Murphy is just the most recent and the only one who's anybody to speak of.
I believe I should re-interrogate a suspect.
I saw him going into the barber shop when I was on my way to work. In this kind of neighborhood, people come and go.
An odd man indeed. He spent a fair amount of time in here, poking around. Some people around town just seem to vanish. It is mysterious. George delivers that to us. It's amazing. The flowers just grow and grow. Sweet boy. Constantly giving my assistant gifts, a jacket, a handbag, and so on.
George is my sweetheart. I think he plans to propose marriage soon. Maybe even today.
Good old Detective Murphy. Must be about someone like He's probably got pie-eyed and run off somewheres.
That's unusual. I wonder if someone can tell me more about this.
Move it over there!
He was in here asking about missing people. Bought a meat pie, he did. Stayed and chatted for a few minutes, then headed off to the barber. I'm told that some people have gone missing, but I don't know anything about it. George delivers meat for my pies. Lovely lad. I pay on delivery. I believe he picks it up from a local butcher shop.
Sharpish! Yes, good.
You'll not buy better prices this side of the
Manpower week.
And woman power.
You mean the annoying bloke nosing around? I told him to sod off. I pride myself on the quality of the beef I sell. Somebody selling cheap around here, though, my sales have dropped off. George? I don't know any George.
He came in asking lots of questions. I believe I answered them to his satisfaction. I suppose there are a few people I haven't seen in a while. Why would you want to know about him? Stupid boy.
I counted 10.
He does deliver tan leather on occasion, but I really have very little to do with him.
Yeah, I gave him a trim. He asked no-ended questions. When I cut his hair, I notices a tattoo right at the base of his neck. A green Celtic cross it was. You're right. Several people have disappeared over the past months. Some of them were customers of mine. George was in here earlier, getting an haircut. He wanted to look nice for his girl. He's been seeing Joanna from the flower shop for some time now. Said he's finally saved up enough money to pop a question.
Now that I've seen this, I should ask more questions.
I'm trying to quit drinking. Sometimes my hand shakes when I'm given a shave.
Right here! We've got the best prices in the neighborhood! You won't...
George. I hoped he'd stop by. I want to see his new haircut. You must be at his house. Oh, I do hope he proposes soon.
He came in asking lots of questions. I believe I answered them to his satisfaction. I suppose there are a few people I haven't seen in a while. Why would you want to know about him? Stupid boy. He does deliver tan leather on occasion, but I really have very little to do with him. He was coming too close to figuring out where all those people went. They got parceled out to the baker, the florist, and me.
You very cleverly puzzled that one out. A very unpleasant crime. Perfect for one of Mr. Raymond's penny dreadfuls.
girl.
Yeah!
Keep moving. Doing fine, girl.
Here's an especially exciting one. Perfect for a penny dreadful.
A famous professor dies twice.
That's once more than usual. Twice as many sales. My name will soon be known across the nation.
I should go back and ask about this. I believe I should re-interrogate a suspect. I should go back and ask about this.
It's unthinkable. Such a great man. We were still in mourning from the burial. He was buried yesterday in the family plot. My father was an eminent anthropologist and something of an explorer. He made his name by investigating the practices of a small village in the Congo. His colleagues at the university often sent him trinkets from abroad. This is no time to talk about the will. It is true that my father and my fiancée didn't get on, but I'm confident that once he got to know her as a daughter-in-law, they would have become friends.
It's so very awful. The professor died of an heart attack just days ago. Then tonight, I hear pounding at the door. I open it to find him bleeding and in pain. I tried to say something, then collapsed dead. Again. Spider? Best get that out of here. Emmett is definitely afraid of spiders. He kept repeating, Barkesso, Barkesso, over and over. What does it mean? He got that a few days ago. Inside was a statue. I thought it was a marvel. But he told me it was quite common. I don't know who sent it.
I should go back and ask about this. I wonder if someone can tell me more about this. I should return and find out about this.
The anthropological sciences have lost a great mind. He revolutionized the field. It is my fond hope that I may inherit his mantle. Which one is that? Sorry, difficult to read. I've lost my spectacles somewhere. I recently traveled to Africa in order to continue studies on the indigenous tribe Professor Bing discovered some time ago.
An eminent colleague. He wrote prolifically. Probably no one will ever amass the amount of knowledge he acquired. I'm most vexed about that. A rare specimen of the sort I've been studying for years. It escaped a few days ago, no doubt due to that scatterbrained assistant Virginia. My thesis subject. My South American colleagues tell me that this particular arachnid is only found in the Bolivian Andes. Fascinating subject.
A lovely man, and quite wealthy. I only wish he had lived to bless my alliance with his son. I'm sorry to hear about that. Do you know whether that change was actually made? I hoped you wouldn't find that. I'm afraid several of the faculty purchase cadavers for research purposes. It's a fact of university life.
I wonder what the other suspects will say to this. I should return and find out about this.
He showed up again. First time that's happened in 35 years of grave digging. I saw the son lock a tomb myself. Body snatching? That's an insult. I'd be in the slammer quick as that if I got caught. So I sell a body or two on the side. A man's gotta eat, ain't he? I broke the lock and left him on a barrow just behind his tomb. It was dark, couldn't really see. But some fella come by and carted the old professor off. It's muddy back there. You can likely still see the tracks. It's plain that 7 guineas is a lot for a bloke like me. I'm careful with me pennies and save for a rainy day. So I sell a body or two on the side. A man's gotta eat, ain't he? I broke the lock and left him on a barrow just behind his tomb. It was dark, couldn't really see. But some fella come by and carted the old professor off. It's muddy back there. You can likely still see the tracks.
some sort of commotion.
I'm sorry to hear about that. Do you know whether that change was actually made? Yes, that's mine. I misplaced a similar one, possibly at the funeral. I was so upset.
I required his knowledge in order to become the greatest anthropologist in the British Empire, and his beloved tribe of savages provided the method.
That Professor Silas was particularly cunning and gruesome. Mr. Raymond will be thrilled. Think of that. Crushed by a crate. The most hated man in London.
Can you imagine achieving such a title? One day my brilliance will bring me similar recognition.
Mr. Raymond, what are you talking about?
It's of no consequence. What's important is that this man was hated by many. But who delivered the fatal blow?
Walk on, stupid nag!
I know the man. He's hated by everyone. Surprisingly, it's not clear what killed him. I find multiple wounds. No need to send many people to jail for killing such a terrible man. What say you only arrest the single person who actually caused his death? He appears to have been stabbed with a perforating weapon, perhaps a spike of some kind. There would be bleeding and it would affect motor control right away, but death wouldn't come for another 6 minutes. I suspect that there is at least one deadly toxin in his system.
Hello, sir.
I wonder if someone could tell me more about this. I should return and find out about this.
The man's a right bastard. I hope he's smouldering in hell. I'm not a crane operator. I wouldn't know how to work that. My best chum is maimed for life, and Ashton didn't care a fig. He deserved what happened. Beyond that, I'm mum.
He owned this site and paid us. We all hated him because he looked for any excuse to cheat us out of our wages. I didn't hate him any more or less than my mates. That's around the time I'm given a few minutes to eat something. About then I would have been buying myself an apple at the stand down the street. It's difficult to work properly. You'd have to know what you're doing to drop it at just the right moment. Eddie? Yeah, I taught him how to work the crane a few days ago.
my husband. Each day I bring him the household expenses just after he eats his apple. I also brought him his invitation to the knighthood ceremony, the one with the special scepter. Of course, he wasn't going to take me along. I often tie up my hair around a knitting needle. What business is it of yours?
He stopped by here every day at the exact same time. He'd buy an apple and try to cheat me out of tuppence. But then most folks do that. Yeah, that sounds right. Came by for an apple. He was there when we heard the crate hit the ground.
I believe I should re-interrogate a suspect.
Ashton stops in front of this pub every afternoon to check on business rumours. Something of a bastard, Ashton. Told me he had a bit of jam on the side, if you know what I mean. Wife didn't know about it. Well, the bit of jam wants out, but he won't let her. That's the sort of fellow we're speaking of. That was Ashton's doing. The man had it in for me. He paid workers to wreck my machines. Cost me a fortune. As long as he was around, I'd never prosper. As a matter of fact, I do carry a revolver at all times. It can be a dangerous neighborhood for a wealthy fella such as myself. This proves nothing. On you go now.
I see him here every day. He can be unpleasant, but I don't really know him.
He's been coming to me for years. He arrives precisely at 1 o'clock and leaves 2 minutes later. He takes a bluish medication every day and prefers that I administer it. Mary is a trusted assistant. As far as I know, she's completely above board. Today, she swept the shop and prepared some medications. She also fetched herself an apple from the apple stand.
I should return and find out about this.
This really is none of your business. He came to me for his blue medication. I gave him blue medication.
Girl who works at the pharmacy? Yeah, she slipped me an extra threepence. She had a special app just for Mr. Ashton. I gave him that one when he come by. Mr. Ashton did look strange-like, eyes all yellowish, and then he turned pale after he bit into the apple. Almost green, really.
I didn't shoot him where it counts, but he bled out before anything else killed him. I should win something.
It was me for certain. I watched the crate fall and crush him. He was still moving when it hit.
I'll be the toast of the town.
A very unpleasant fellow. But what was that business about a knighthood ceremony?
Up to the click with you!
In any case, Mr. Raymond will have a story for Purlock Publishing.
like, share, comment, and subscribe.